The divine plan consists of the Earth as the living nature and of all of the cosmic planets that can also influence our body. The planets and the cosmic connection are all, nothing is separate, it is all the one. All our 7 chakras are associated with 7 planets. The throat chakra is associated with the cosmic connection of Mercury, which is the smallest planet in our solar system. Mercury is the planet of communication and the divine messenger. Let us give the intention to align our throat chakra with Mercury for enchantment now. The angelic presence associated with the throat chakra is Archangel Gabriel, who symbolizes the guardian of the truth and the divine messenger. In the Bible, the encounter between Archangel Gabriel and Mary, known as the Annunciation, was when God's archangel announced to a faithful teenager girl that God had chosen her to give birth to a baby destined to save the world, and that was Jesus Christ. Also in the Bible, Archangel Gabriel came to Elizabeth very late in her life and told her she was having a baby who would become John the Baptist. He was a prophet and honored as a saint who announced Jesus was coming. Let us now give the intention for Archangel Gabriel, the messenger angel of God, the source of all life, to be present with his white lily in his hand for purity and truth. Ask him to come and speak to you now. Whisper with his horn the divine words and messages in the moment of the now. See him, feel him, breathe in his gratitude now. The throat chakra, the fifth chakra, focuses on the ages of 25 to 40. Spoken words in anger can destroy relationships, but words said in love and encouragement can heal relationships. How do you speak to yourself? Do you give yourself positive affirmations? We manifest by the spoken word. The higher consciousness, the quicker the spoken words manifest. If you say, I want, this equals lack. Speak it like it is already here. You must know it is already here to manifest. The seed mantra through vibration, which acts to balance this chakra, is Hum. So I'm going to do it 3 times for manifestation. It's spelled H-A-M, but it's pronounced like hum. This sound helps you to progress spiritually and to develop attunement. I express myself freely. I allow myself to go with the flow of life. I express myself freely. I allow myself to go with the flow of life. I express myself freely. I allow myself to go with the flow of life. The ethers element are also known as the Akasha, which is the 5th element after earth, water, fire, and air. All of these elements are also present in our own body. The primary function of the ether element is the thought process, imparting wisdom that allows consciousness to connect with the divine. This upper region of air beyond the earth and the clouds permeates all dimension of space, known as the universe. All parts of this vastness, known as the cosmos, includes planets, stars, and galaxies, and other forms of matter and cosmic energy to the edge of the unknown. It is also the space between all of our body organs and the hollow areas, such as the veins, the nerves, the channels, the bones and joints, and even the intestinal tract. The essential oils for the throat chakra are peppermint and eucalyptus. Imagine you're breathing in now. If there's any stagnation in the sinus, in the nose, in the throat, that you're breathing in, whichever is your preference. Eucalyptus is fantastic. Smell it now. Or peppermint. Imagine that you're smelling them. Now. The crystals associated with the throat chakra are aquamarine, turquoise, and blue sapphire. Visualize them now. Let them sparkle in your life now. Affirmations are how we speak to ourselves and to others. So I am affirming to myself, I am love, I am peace, I am healthy. I speak my words with integrity. I live my life in truth. I communicate effectively with everybody in my life. If for some reason that we haven't done them things in our life, in our childhood, in our teenage years or whatever, in our adult life, for whatever reason, the more that we speak these and affirm them, the more that they do become our truth. So I'm just going to say them again. I am love. I am peace. I am healthy. I speak my words with integrity. I live my life in truth. I communicate effectively with everybody in my life. Now gently breathe in deeper. And as we visualize the throat chakra, and today being Father's Day, and we're also balancing the masculine and the feminine within ourselves. If we have a physical father here, we can bring them in. And if they've crossed over, we can still bring them in. If we've had a difficult relationship with our parents, we can now bring them into this space so that we can balance the masculine and the feminine within ourselves. We can also do it if they're on this dimension. Imagine they're in front of you now. And what you would like to say and what you've learned with your own teachings. Do you need to ask forgiveness? Do you need to send forgiveness? Do you need to ask them? Whatever it is, bring it into this space now for your own healing. See yourself whatever age you'd like to see yourself. Maybe a good space, maybe a time that you are happy. Because it's also good to acknowledge the happy times. Sometimes we can get stuck on the not so happy times. So bring forth a nice time. And maybe thank your parents, particularly your father, wishing them Happy Father's Day for something nice that was done for you. And see your parents there now smiling at you. If you have an unspoken word that you need to say now through your throat chakra, maybe something that you could never say, that you're in a safe space to do it, you can say it now. To just relieve yourself of whatever it is, the anger, the resentment, whatever it was that you needed to say. Because when you say, you can cut the ties of that anger and that resentment. You may have to do it more than once, but you have the recording if you want to sit with that. Or any other recordings that you have that will help you to do that. To be free. And now, as it's Father's Day, that we're sending the love, as we know our intention now, to them fathers. Maybe they've had difficulties in their lifetime, to the fathers, to the grandfathers, to the great-grandfathers, to all the males going back in the generation. May they feel this healing now. Just give yourself a moment now to feel the weight of that healing. And as we feel the weight of that healing, we have healed within ourselves that masculine aspect. Also the feminine, but today in particular the masculine, of how we speak to the male in our life. So once again, for all those males and for any that have gone before us, that were lost, that didn't have anybody to pray for them, may we wish them peace and love now. And as you take time now to bring in that lovely little meditation that you've done, how powerful your meditation is, how powerful your intention is. Make no mistake of how powerful it is that you send that intention. And as we're together as a group, it's even more powerful. So thank yourself. So give yourself focus back in your body now. Feel yourself coming back into that body. Grounding yourself in the here and the now. Give yourself a little wiggle of your toes and your fingers. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes now. We hope you've enjoyed the throat chakra sound healing and the guided meditation journey with the ethers element. It's particularly because it's the opening into all the other chakras. And be mindful that you speak to yourself in a kinder way now. We will share some new acupressure and immunity points. Just going to give you a brief introduction of myself, and then we will close with a group oracle. So what's for one is for all. So I'm Liz Dooley, and I'm a professional energy and mental health behavioral therapist, and I offer many energy healing therapies such as acupressure, acupuncture, Reiki, Rising Star, and I'm also a consultant therapist in the Cretan Wellness, the wonderful Cretan Wellness Retreat in Wexford, Ireland. So we're going to start for anybody that hasn't been on any of these before, each organ is associated, like Chinese medicine is going for thousands of years. It's not a new phenomena. So the throat chakra we're talking about today, because each organ is associated with an emotion that's linked to our physical or emotional or psychological or sexual health. Suppressed or excessive emotions cause disease in the body. The throat chakra governs the thyroid gland that regulates our metabolism and our hormones for optimal organ operations. According to Chinese medicine, the thyroid is a master gland in the throat, regulating every cell in our body. So imbalances include slow metabolism and also throat areas such as the mouth, teeth, jaws, and the ears. So for anybody that's been on these calls before, they'll know we've gone through some acupressure points. So good health depends on the flow of the energy pathways in our meridians. We apply pressure to points where energy stagnates, and we can activate the innate healing ability of our body. We also know that when we need to see a doctor, like I did in January when I used all of these and I just needed that extra bit of support to go to a doctor for people that are on medication that's keeping things stable for them. That's good too. But we can make this as an extra support to our body to help activate different areas of stagnation, which also I believe helps us everywhere. It builds up our immune system as well, together with a program of healthy eating and also how we speak to ourselves, you know, that we're less angry, we're less hard on ourselves. So stomach 3 is on the face and it's directly below the pupil of the eye at the level of the border of the nose. Okay, so you'll see it on the diagram. All of these are stomach ones down from the middle of the eye. So they're all stomach, so they're all good ones to do. I use my second finger to do these. And I do them in both directions actually. They relieve facial conditions, swelling of the lips and the eyes, toothache, twitching, stuffy nose, and most important is to keep our sinuses clear. Okay, it's imperative to keep our sinuses clear. I notice when I do these exercises, my nose will run a lot. So that's kind of like my sinus is clearing, or I can even feel now like a bit like I want to sneeze. So what the sneezing is doing is releasing any pathogens. So stomach for the men is below the pupil of the eye, and it's again, it's going down the same line as stomach 3, just further down by the mouth, either side of the mouth. Now, what this one is really good for is excessive appetite. So if you feel that that you've wanted to eat something and you've just eaten or whatever, and you don't feel as though you're full, this is a great one for decreasing the appetite. So it helps with your diet. Also with salivation and toothaches. So they're really good points for that. Okay. What I'm trying to do is tie everything in where it's a simple, the acupressure points are where they're easily accessible. So last week we did the small intestine. So that's on the side of the hand where your small finger is. Okay, so if you want to, you can work. You don't need to worry about the exact point. So like the stomach, you can go down the whole meridian side of it. Okay, that's a good tapping point as well. For anyone that does tapping, they'll know that that's the part that you tap. And it's also used in the metamorphic technique. So it's a really good point. It's good for on a baby's hand as well, for releasing. So it's located, as you can see, where it's located. And it's used to treat stiffness of the neck, the wrists and the fingers, sore throat and shoulders. So it's for people who are constantly on a computer as well, because you're using the computer all the time, the synovial fluid. So it's really good for stuff. Okay. So then we've got the heart 9, and it's located at the end of the little finger on the corner of the nail. Now these are great points because it's a heart meridian and it regulates the blood, can help in resuscitation if somebody is feeling faint or losing consciousness. It can help if, in diabetics, the blood sugars. It can help with somebody maybe that's gone into the water, and you can do the kidney one that we've done before to help get rid of the water. And then we can use this one as well for the consciousness. These are really powerful, actually life-saving points if it comes to it, Not to panic, to be calm. So it's good if you're panicking yourself to actually use these points before you try help somebody else. So this one we know in the middle of the eyebrow. So you can tap it or hold it and it releases tension. It's great for headaches and whatever, anxiety. Also, we know that if you have consistent headaches that you need to check. You can't just keep having headaches, and pain is a messenger. So you need always to check in if things are going on for too long. You can't keep taking painkillers. So it helps anxiety, headaches, again the sinus, and also fantastic for the pineal glands to balance the hormones and the adrenals. So a little bit like the stomach as well for the hormones and the adrenals. Heart 7 then is the one we've done P6 as well. It's just over at the side, more over at the side from the middle crease, if you can see. And you rotate your thumb in a thumb motion. Anxiety, headaches, and sinusitis again. We're focusing on keeping them sinuses free. You know, sinus is very important for your health, to keep it free. And also for the emotions, the fight or the flight, which really helps your immune system for anxiety, panic, and worry. So then we're going down to gallbladder. Anybody there, you know, if you can see the diagram there, it's great for, you know, if your gallbladder is out of whack, and you're getting a lot of pain when you're eating certain things, or you're what they call in Chinese medicine is phlegm. Phlegm can be caused by a lot of sugar in your diet, a lot of fat in your diet, whatever, and it can release internal wind. Okay, so you can see where it is, the gallbladder 13. You can work all across there. You know, when I had them small as babies, before I even knew this, I used to just work the thumb across here, and at the side of the temples. I find it very good for just releasing tension. So now, and lung 7, fabulous point for treating, you know, for catching the flu and the cold symptoms before they get worse on the chest, if you know what I mean. So it also helps with cough, it helps with asthma, and relieves sore throat. It's a really good point. I love that point, to do that point. I love to do that point with the large intestine 4, which we've got on the diagram down, because they're paired organs. So it's the lung, grief and sadness, and the large intestine is letting it go. So it's also great for digestive and constipation, bringing more air into your body, opening up your airway passages, which is really important. The Shenman then, it's a great point as well. It's in the apex of the ear, you'll just see it there. You can hold it and you can just rub it in a round direction. I love doing that on babies if they're upset as well. It's also a great point that I'd use with addiction, because it kind of like it releases tension out of the body. Sometimes we use whatever it is that we use for the addiction, and when we're calmed down, it makes it much easier to not reach for whatever it is. So it brings energy into the mind and into the body and settles the mind. And then we know this one, it's fairly easy one, that we can do it anywhere if we're in work. It's just pulling the earlobes, 1, 2, 3. And it's like you're setting the intention. The minute you've done it, you know that you've released the tension. It's also, with all of these, it's the power of intention as well. So that's what we're talking about, the mind healing the body. So we'll go to the morning energizer one then, which is the one that I do. We just use our 2 fingers, cross, and the large intestine then is letting go. The kidneys then on the diagram, very good for, you know, they're also tapping points to release shock and trauma. Okay, so you can see them on the side of on the diagrams there. And last but not least, the lovely pericardium, which is the 2 little lines in the center of your wrist. You work that. So the pericardium, you can work it up, you can go up, and you can go right to the crease in your wrist. So that one is also very good for travel sickness and morning sickness for pregnancy. And it benefits the autonomic nervous system. So I hope you've enjoyed your little bit of information on the acupressure points. Really, they're great to keep and to use. And we're going to finish with a few cards. And I'd like to thank everybody today for being at the throat, the chakra, and the elements. Hope you've enjoyed it. Next week, it's the third eye. And we will be here at the same time. And for anybody that hasn't joined us before, we have recordings. So next week, June 28th, is the third eye. So I'd like to thank everybody. It's €8 for each class, and it's €45 for the series. So we're going to give a donation to the children's charity, the Variety Club. So anybody that wants to know, they can contact electronic payment, ellisdooley@gmail.com. And anybody that's looking for any other treatments that I do over the internet, I will be available at Creek and Lodge Wellness Retreat for card readings or for remote treatments or healings. My email is ellisdooley, as I said, at gmail.com. My website is acuangels.com, Liz Dooley website. I'd like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank my co-host Sandra, because without her, I definitely couldn't do this. She's just amazing. After this, can you drink plenty of water? Because it allows the energy to flow through you, and it allows any stagnated energy to flow. So thank you, and I'm just going to do a few cards now for the group. If anybody in particular would like a card, they can send me a message. So the first one says home. And what it says is your home situation is improving through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. I feel that this is saying for all of us that when we speak our truth, when we learn how to communicate in a loving way that benefits ourselves and others, everything around us changes. Our work environment changes, our home environment changes. And home, to me, I see home as being the head as well. So in my head, situations are improving because I'm not always listening to a negative dialogue. I listen to positive. I use the mantras. So important to me to use mantras. I use the mala beads. And if you do this consistently, it actually does work. But it takes practice, 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 and discipline. Discipline is the thing for me now, to focus and have discipline. Let me see what the second card is. Oh, lovely. It's Mary Magdalene and it's unconditional love. And we chose this before we started. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances will be. So I suppose we've gone through the loving yourself, and the others as the people. It's very easy to love people that love us. It's much more difficult to love people We may not like them, but we can love them. That's what the Sacred Heart is. That's what the unconditional love is. To just love everybody just as they are. So no matter what the outward appearances will be, I think that's with situations with us, you know, sometimes, you know, our karma, maybe we feel, oh, like, why did that happen? Why did that happen? And we'll always argue the point if we think it's in our heads that wasn't a good thing. And it's just to learn that everything is for our highest good once we ask it. If we're setting the intention every day for something to change, ourselves to change, sometimes it means that we're letting go of different things. Sometimes it means that things are dropping away. It could be different friends, whatever it is. So loving ourselves, having unconditional love for ourselves is the key to everything. Because everything else depends on that. Our outward depends on our inner self. And the last one then, which is a really nice one, is Anya, and it's a leap of faith. So this one says to me, it feels to me it's like people now who are on the edge of something to do something, and they've procrastinated about doing it. Probably like me, going online and things like that. You know, feel the fear and just work through the fear of it. Because when you do that, you are actually, number one, it's a space of self-love, but number two, it also brings you to another space of confidence. That can be a quiet confidence, do you know what I mean? So I feel that's in particular for somebody today that's going for a new job and they're a bit nervous about it, or a new venture. But it feels like just push yourself that little bit forward. Practice, practice, practice. And it's also about, you know, preparation. When you're prepared, it makes so much difference about moving forward with things. So don't be afraid of, particularly at this time, because things have changed, don't be afraid of new environments. Don't be afraid, or probably annoyance would be more for me, to adjust to new situations, and just to respect everybody in what they're trying to do to make things better for the consciousness or for the majority. So I hope you've enjoyed today as much as I've enjoyed doing it. I'd like to wish you all a beautiful week until we meet next week. And just remember, plenty of water, and speak your truth. You may